Hello and welcome to the Wealthy Trades Weekly Market Forecast for May 18th, 2015. I want to start out by talking about our weekly dashboard. In fact, I kind of want to start out by recapping some of our trades last week and what we had went into last week, the stocks and the sectors. And here's the performance. Just so everybody understands, the SPY itself, all right, the S&P 500 ETF was up 0.41%, so a decent week last week. And the SPY for the month, okay, because I'm going to highlight the monthly dashboard also, is up 1.45%. So actually putting in a really nice May, huge rally last week. But here's the deal. The XLP last week, that was the sector that we called out on Wealthy Trades to be long as the best sector, was up 1.46% in comparison to the market that was only up 1.4 or only up 0.41. That's huge outperformance, and I want people to understand the power of outperforming like that. Not everybody's a day trader. In fact, most people who subscribe to wealthytrades.com are either going to use these strategies and use the dashboard to manage their IRA, their 401ks, their long-term portfolios, or swing trade. They're not going to actively day trade. One of my most powerful strategies is to use the information on a weekly and monthly basis. So I want to highlight this. Last week, we went into the XLP. It was up 1.46%. And the best stock to be long was KR. That was up 1.66%. Again, in comparison to a market that was only up 0.41%. That is phenomenal outperformance. All right, think about that if you can consistently do that. In the options course that I'm going to be doing, and that's actually going to be done this week, I'm going to be finalizing this week and getting this out to all paying members. In this options course, I'm going to go over a specific weekly rotational covered call strategy. Okay, here's the spreadsheet that everybody's going to get that gets this course. It's a very easy spreadsheet. You just put the data in there and it tells you, all right, the dashboard tells you the sectors to go into, and this tells you the premium you should be selling to generate more income on a weekly basis. It's going to be a phenomenal course. And it's a strategy. It's one of the focus strategies in this course is going to be based on how you manage your long-term portfolio on a weekly rotational or a monthly rotational strategy using the Wealthy Trades dashboard. Extremely powerful information. As we can see, this is the reason why you need this information, because of weeks like last week, huge outperformance, 1.66 and 1.46 in comparison to 0.41, and also monthly. All right, this is so important. Let's not forget, we've been long the XLV all month long. The XLV, the healthcare sector, is the sector we called out at the beginning of the month, said that's the best sector to be in. It's up 2.85% in comparison to the market only up 1.45%. That again is phenomenal outperformance. Think about that. The best stock, all right, the best stock that we called out that we said you need to be in, or that provides the highest probability of success all month, is CAH. Okay, CAH is up 3.57% in May in comparison to the market that's up 1.45%. Again, phenomenal outperformance, and this doesn't even include selling premium, selling covered calls, using the levels to win in the Wealthy Trades information. I'm going to be going over this specific strategy in the options course. Everybody who gets this course, the paying members, will get this course and get this this spreadsheet that goes over our covered calls, our cash secured puts, our long-term strategies, sector rotation on a weekly and a monthly basis for retirement accounts, and more income-based option strategies using bull put spreads, bear call spreads, and just buying straight out naked calls and puts. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be packed full of information, but I really wanted to highlight our weekly trades and our monthly trades because they continue to outperform. And if Wealthy Trades has power, the power is in the longer term, weekly and monthly. It's also in the dailies, but not everybody, very few people should day trade. Every single person listening right now has a retirement account and has money in the markets that they need to manage. If nothing else, subscribing to wealthytrades.com for $74 a month and getting and understanding the best sectors on a monthly basis to be in is phenomenal information and will help you outperform the market over long periods of time. The strategy is real simple. If you are just a kind of a passive investor, all you do is follow the Wealthy Trades best sector, go into the best sector all month long. If the market goes into a downtrend, go into cash. When it goes back into an uptrend, go into the best sector and stay in the best sector every month. It's as simple as it can get, and it will help protect you from that next huge downtrend that we go into, that big bear market that we go into. you will be protected from that because we'll go into a downtrend before we go into a huge, big sell-off like we had in 2000, 2001, and 2008, 2009. Before we go into that, we will go into a downtrend just like we did back then, and you will save yourself a lot of money going into cash, going back in when we go into an uptrend. All right, so I really wanted to highlight that. For this week, it's real simple. Before I go into the week, we are still long the XLV, long CAH. We're going to be long those two things until the end of the month. In that options course, I'm going to highlight how you can sell covered calls and generate even more premium on a weekly and a monthly basis in that. But for the week, we are also going to go into the XLP, just like we did last week, consumer staples. But now I want to find the best stock, and it's probably going to be our old friend KR. But I'm going to move all these stocks over to my portfolio. All right, we're going to find the best opportunity in the consumer staples sector. So let's do our pair-down technique, levels to win profit. What this tells me, let's look at the XLP, for example. I got to make sure I'm clicked on a weekly. The XLP, what I know about it is it closed the week at $49.75. Next week, it should move up to $50.27 or down to $49.23. Those are the expected levels. It's got a 48% probability of hitting this upside, only a 44% probability of hitting the downside. When it hits the downside level, all right, it typically bounces off and closes higher. Why? Because the trend is up and it makes money buying at that level. That's what this levels to win profit is. Also, when it rallies up and it hits 50.27, it also makes money. I know that because I got a profit right here. It's phenomenal. That's what I want to see. That's my first pair down technique, is it's got to make money on a weekly basis on the levels to win profit. If it doesn't, then I'm going to eliminate it. So I'm going to go through these. And so here's an example. DPS, when it hits the downside, it typically closes lower. I know that because it loses money. So I'm going to get rid of DPS. All right, I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. Look at this one, GIS. GIS is a decent stock. It's good. It's in the best sector. But if I were long GIS, I'd for sure be selling calls at $57.94, the $58 calls. Why? Because it loses money there. And then I'd also have my stop at $56.34 because it loses money there too. So if you're long GIS, you better be selling calls and you better have a stop at $56.34 because it loses money at both of those spots. But I'm going to eliminate it because we're looking for the best, right? KO, eliminate that one too. KR was one that's been doing really well. MO, get rid of that one. PEP, looks good. RAI, get rid of that. All right, so here's the 4. Now I'm going to look for the one that gives us the widest spread of the levels on levels. This tells me how often it closes above the expected high and how often it closes below the expected low. I want this spread to be really wide, okay? The wider the better. So KR is 42 and 13. That's obviously better than 28 and 15. So I'm going to get rid of PEP. So 42 and 13 is the number to beat, and that is going to be our number. Once again, for this week, we're going to be long KR, but here's the deal. We got to do a hedge trade, or I'm going to do a hedge trade because the quality, right, the quality of this uptrend is not above 50%. So therefore, I don't want to just go aggressively long the stock market. I want to do a hedge trade, and I'm going to do that by going long the best stock in the best sector, KR, but I'm going to pair that by going short the best shorting opportunity stock in the down sector. So the down sector is the energy sector. So I'm going to look for the best shorting opportunity to pair that with. Now, if you're trading or investing in your IRA or a non-margin, non-shorting account, you don't have to go short. Just maybe do half the size you normally would long in the best stock in the best sector. It's a very easy way to do it. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the same pair down technique. Look at the weekly. All right, levels to win profit and find the best shorting opportunity. If it loses money, I'm going to get rid of it. RIG loses money. Get rid of that one. NOV loses money. BL loses money. MER loses money. The XLE itself loses money. APA, see you later. There might not be a lot of opportunities here. It might be, yep, look at this. Real easy. SWN is the only one that makes money. What do I know is it closed at 27.74. It should move down because it's in a downtrend. The trend side is 26.57. The upside is 29.91. It hits the downside 55.8% of the time, and only the upside, when it's in a downtrend, 30% of the time. When it hits these levels, both of those levels are good shorting opportunities. But this week, what I'm going to do, at the open on Monday, I'm going to go long KR and short SWN. I'm going to hold all week long and close at the end of the week. That is my trade because I'm doing a pairs trade because we are in an uptrend, but the quality is below 50%. So that is my trade for the week, and that is the best opportunity that I can find for the month. Still long in the healthcare sector, and you can sell calls against that. I will be going over that specific strategy in our options course that is going to be absolutely free to the first 1,000 paying subscribers. After that, it's going to be on our website for $1,000. In this course, you will get this spreadsheet to help you price earnings trades. You'll get my proprietary filters and how to price projected moves in earnings. You'll get the spreadsheet on how to price whether a call is a fair value or undervalue and what you should pay for that call. You'll get our sector rotation, which is probably the most powerful strategy we have. The sector rotation on a long-term basis, weekly or monthly basis, very powerful. And you'll also get the best ways in the calculations on when you should sell covered calls or maybe even do cash secured puts. And then I'm going to go into, in the course, I'm going to go into specifics on what are calls and puts, when you use calls and puts, when you buy, when you sell, and how to generate even more income. I also go into income generating strategies such as spreads, bull put spreads, bear call spreads, different things like that. It's a phenomenal course. By itself, it's worth a lot of money. But paying subscribers can get it for $74 a month. It's a steal. Listen, this week, hopefully we can have another great week, outperformance week like we had last week. We were up really big in the XLP compared to the market. You got to understand that's the main thing, is how do we compare to the overall market. I want you guys to look at this on a long-term basis and even a medium-term basis, even if you just go into a weekly rotation in the best sector. As long as we're in an uptrend, that's a phenomenal strategy in itself. Okay, so as long as we're in an uptrend, go long the best sector. If we go into a downtrend, go into cash. It's really that simple. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Email me at info@wealthytrades.com. I will be wrapping up that options course this week. I look forward to getting that out to the first 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe now at $74 a month. You don't have to, even just subscribing for 1 month to get the options course is going to be well worth it. It's worth every penny of the $74. So again, let me know if you have any questions. Email me info@wealthytrades.com. Let's make it a great week.